Hello, everybody. Happy Friday Eve, and welcome to the Mamapreneur Podcast. I am your amazing, fabulous hostess with the mostest, who you will always see with the lovely hat, Robbin. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm glad to see you all here for episode 78. Claps for the episode 78. Whoop, whoop. All right, catch one clap, girl. All right. All right. I am so excited for tonight's episode. We got some amazing ladies. Everybody does different things, but they are fabulous in their respective fields. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear all about what they are doing and their journeys and all the things. So, before I get to my ladies, for my audience out there, thank you for tuning in via YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if you're watching us right now or you're watching us via replay, I would like for you to share the live broadcast or share the replay. I do giveaways every episode, and to get automatically entered, all you do is share and type hashtag Mamapreneur in the comments, and I will do a drawing after the show is over and connect you to who you won their prize. So get ready for that. So make sure you're sharing. And also, audience, let us know where you're tuning in from in the chat. I love with this platform that I get to interview people from all over the country, all over the world. But I love it when I see people that are actually watching us from all over the world. And so let us know where you're from in the chat. Okay. And this show wouldn't be here if I didn't go to a networking event. And I know that we have plenty of entrepreneurs that are tuning in the chat, and would love for you to tag your business info in the chat. It can be your website, it can be your social media, whatever that looks like. Type that in the chat. Let's connect, let's network, let's collaborate in the chat. All right. So I know I gave you a lot to do in a short amount of time. So first, I want you to share the live broadcast or share the replay. If you're watching us via replay, I would love for you to let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. And if you are an entrepreneur, put your business info in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So this is an interactive podcast. So I know that I am just great, and you just want to hear me talk for 60 minutes, and you want to hear my guest talk for 60 minutes. But we want to hear from you, the audience, in the chat as well. So if you have questions for myself or for my guest, please make sure you ask them. I would love for them to answer your question live on the air. If you are just digging something we're talking about tonight, you want to be the hallelujah corner, chime in the comments. All right. Your whole family is in the chat right now. You supporting one of our guests right now. I want you in the chat, chatting it up. Okay. So for those who do not know me, my name is Robbin. I am the amazing hostess of this show, have been for 78 episodes. That equates to 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And I give shouts out to Kesha Cash, CEO of POWERTEAM, who is my right hand gal. Thank you, sis. 78 episodes. Let's get this thing pumping and jumping. So, I am glad to be before you tonight. I just have such a passion for women in business and helping women in business step out of their comfort zone and do a live podcast. Okay. It's great. You should do it. Once you do one live podcast, you'll do another. Just saying. So before I get to my amazing guest, I got a few announcements because that's what we do here at the Mamapreneur Podcast. So make sure you are subscribing to the Mamapreneur Podcast YouTube channel. We are on our road to 1,000 subscribers. So please make sure you subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now, go ahead and press the subscribe button. If you are on any other platform, when the show is over, I need you to go over to YouTube, press subscribe. Okay, thank you. Where we post the show is streaming there. We post clips, all other updates that are Mamapreneur related. So you don't want to miss out on that. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, for my business owners out there, women in business, this is your call out, shout out. If you are a woman in business, does not matter where you are in the country, I am now taking guest spots for 2025. We're now booking into March of 2025. So if you want to get more exposure for your brand, this is the time to reach out to me and let's have a conversation on how you can be a guest on the Mamapreneur Podcast. I offer many packages, so you must book a call so I can tell you all that. Can't do that here. We'll be here all night. Just kidding. So also, I am hosting the Mamapreneur Podcasting webinar. It is my monthly webinar. Now I'm doing them twice a month, where I am giving some tips on all things podcasting, but you must register to be a part of that. Link has been posted below. It is this upcoming Tuesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I give gifts at my functions, so that includes virtual functions. So if you join us, you will get a gift, but you must be present to win. Just saying. So November 19th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure that you sign up. And it's been a great experience having the webinars and seeing some of my people that have gone through the process now have their own podcast or growing their existing podcast. It's been amazing to see. Also, I've started a 8-week program called the Mamapreneur Podcasting Academy, where I help women in business grow their brands and visibility through podcasting. If you want to know more about that, please reach out to me directly. Again, I'll be happy to provide more information on the Podcasting Academy. Currently taking new clients as we speak. It's amazing. All right. Save the date, January 18th, 2025, my annual Mimosas and Visions event. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I had this event back in January of this year. It was a success. This is now an annual event. Early bird specials are on sale now. I've only got so many seats available for the early bird before the price goes up. And this event sold out rather quickly for 2024. I'm not surprised if it will sell out rather quickly for 2025. You got food, fun, fellowship, vision boards, goal setting, all the things. So Mimosas and Visions, January 18th, 2025. Get your ticket today because there really is limited seating. Limited seating, all right? All righty. My last bit before I get to my amazing first guest is my segment called Robbin's 2 Cents. So I'll also kick him out. All right. So, so this episode I like to call the grateful episode. I want you guys to type in the chat, what are you grateful for in this season? I'm going to be asking each guest that same question. And so this is the month that we should always be grateful and show gratitude and thank God for what he's done in our lives and what he's going to do. And my little tidbit tonight is embracing this season of your life with a heart of gratitude, trusting that God is working in ways we may not fully see. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but we still have to trust him in the process. Every challenge, every blessing is shaping us for greater things. We should be present, finding joy in the here and now. A lot of times, if we're not at a certain place in life, we focus on that versus what God has brought us through. And so we got to show that gratitude to Him and just be grateful for where we are now, what He's protected us from. All right. So we're being thankful for God, for His guidance, His grace, and His favor over our lives in every moment of our lives. So this is the month to be grateful. So my audience, type in the chat, what are you grateful for in this season? All right. That's my little tidbit. Be grateful. Be grateful. So my first guest, I love her to pieces. Good friend of mine, sister in Christ, all the things, fellow boss lady. I love her spirit. We met through a group that we've both been a part of for many years. She has such an amazing spirit, and she has an amazing family. So her son was on our show a few months back as one of my kidpreneur spotlights. And we had a conversation at church one time, and I kind of told her she was coming on the show. And she's going to smile her way through it. Okay. Anyway, Erin Esteves is a student transformation and success coach with over 15 years experience in youth development. She has had the privilege of guiding students toward unlocking their potential, helping them set meaningful goals, and equipping them with the tools and strategies they need to succeed academically and personally. And again, I love her to pieces, and I'm so glad that she's here to talk about all things Magnolia Heights coaching and consulting. I need you guys to give her some hand claps in the chat. Show her some love. Erin Esteves.
Hi, Robbin. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I remember us talking in church that day. We were at our church's quarterly business luncheon, and I was just asking, just like I ask all my friends who have businesses, how's business? I don't have nothing behind that. I'm just asking how's business going. And she starts talking about it and everything. I was like, all right. You ready to come on to the show?
Yes,
Tell everybody about it? Why not? You may get you some new clients. You never know. And here we are. I feel like that was so long ago, Erin, but now
I know.
But here we are. Here we are. So I want you to tell everybody about Magnolia Heights Coaching and Consulting and why you started it, your why behind it. Go.
Yes. So I am the founder of Magnolia Heights Coaching. Where do I even begin? I feel like this is a calling that for years I kind of like just ran away from it. You heard the 15 years of experience straight out of college. I actually have my degree in computer science and math, but I was always working with kids. I was always taking kids home, always trying to broaden their horizons. And that's where I found myself for years. And then I eventually went into financial industry. And even there, I began doing career development with our women's program, with a women's resource group. And so I did that for years, and I still felt the tugging on my heart because I was still doing activities with my kids' friends and at the school. And so I eventually just got to the point where I said, you know what, this is my thing. I've been trying to figure out what that purpose is, and I've been walking in it and doing it. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to take that leap and start the business. And so that's what I've been doing. And I do, my primary focus is students, but I do leadership and development coaching for corporations, as well as career development for individuals. So it is all the things.
I love it.
Yes. Yes. Um, I tell people also, one of the things that's near and dear to me is I have 4 kids. They're not kids.
Big kids.
They're big kids. They're big kids. And one of the things that I learned in just raising a family is that when you have multiple kids, you have multiple personalities, and you have to learn how to connect and communicate with each personality. And that is another function of my business. So not only do I help the students, but if you are a parent and you're struggling with that communication with your child, we work on that as well. We have personality assessments that will show us what's the best way for you to communicate. And we also take a look at what's the disconnect behind the communication.
I love it. I love it. So I'm going to ask you a question, what I asked the audience, but I'm going to ask every guest tonight. What are you grateful for in this season of your life?
Oh, the answer is my family. We drive each other crazy, but family is everything. Family, that's the ones that they remind you daily that you're alive and what you have forward to look forward to. So I would say my answer would be family.
I love it.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it. Y'all drive each other crazy. Yes, I believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how old is everybody? How old are the big kiddos?
Okay, so my oldest is 24. And our focus is just spreading the wings, just getting to that point where I'm going from young adulthood into managing his own life. And then
Absolutely.
I have Kai, who's 19. He's in college. So for him, it's encouragement of making the connections on campus to start building those next steps. And then I have Evan, who's 17. She's a senior in high school. So her next steps are what is next? And she's not following a traditional path. She's following her passion, which is dance. She's been
She's amazing.
competitively dancing. Yes. And so it is for a lot of people, when I have the conversation, they're like, oh my God, you're going to let her go off. But I don't want her to live with any regrets. And so this is a time where you don't have any responsibilities. So follow that dream. Reality has a lot of time behind it. So follow the dream, and we'll figure it out as we go. And then, of course, you talked about my kidpreneur. There's Madden, who's 13. Um, he's in 8th grade, and we're just figuring it out every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun times. I can only imagine. We got big 15 in the other room. We can only
Yes.
imagine. Yes.
Yes. Happy belated birthday to him.
To the old man in a
Yes.
15-year-old's body. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The teenage years can be challenging.
Yeah. Yes. So you have the coaching business. So how do you juggle both? So if you're doing the coaching for youth development and then you have the coaching for corporations, which I know that's a whole different umbrella, and those are big children that you deal with there. So how do you juggle all of that, family and corporate?
Oh, having a good schedule.
Okay.
Having a good schedule. And then there's also, I make sure, one, that I'm taking care of myself, right? Because we can't pour onto others from an empty cup. So one, I make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And then two, it's just being real honest with my calendar and what I can accommodate. You don't say yes to everything. And so a lot of times when it's corporations, it's just working with groups, and I do something called the leadership game, and it's very impactful, but it does not require a lot of me in a sense because it's very interactive. So it requires a lot of participation from the crowd. And then when it comes to the team, when it's student coaching, those are typically one-on-one. I did have the honor and privilege yesterday at speaking with the Allen High School Black Student Union. And that was fun. It was 30 kids. And we talked
Really?
about, yes, we talked about leadership. We talked about leading ourselves. And we talked about making the most with the time that we have. And so that was very
Wow.
interesting because they were very engaged.
I love it. I love it. Now, with the other client, youth clients that you have, how many of do you take on at once? Like the
So typically, I have the capacity. I have more capacity for the one-on-ones.
okay,
Um, some they pop in for a session and say, "Hey, I just need direction," and it starts with a consultation, and then after the consultation, we develop a plan. And so some it's just a conversation, and then it's some that say, you know what, I'm going to buy into the 3 months. I'm going to commit to the 3 months. And
okay,
typically it's meeting 2 times a month for about 45 minutes.
okay. Now, is everyone here locally, client-wise, client-based? Do you take local, or can they be anywhere, or how does that work?
I do. They can be anywhere. They can be anywhere. I have a young man that I coach right now that is out of California. So it's just
Love
finding
it.
the time that works with our schedule.
Hmm.
And then locally we could do virtual, or I'm willing to meet someplace. I find face to face with the teams it's really good. But if
More
it doesn't
engaging.
allow, yes.
Hmm.
If it doesn't allow, virtual works just as well.
Okay, awesome. I
And
love
I
it.
am looking forward to, I am participating in your networking events. And we have another sister that owns a business in the chat. And I'm
Yep.
about to lean on her and her business because I would like to be able to host sessions for a group of teens. So you may not at first know that you need the one-on-one, but you may
Mhm.
want to participate in a group setting. So I'm looking forward to starting those as well. And depending upon
Nice.
the feedback, it'll be something that I'll continue to do.
Let me know so I can be there. Hey, make mine go. Make mine
Yes.
go. Like, go. You ain't doing nothing. Go. Anyway,
Yes.
um,
Yes. You
now,
know,
now with your teens, how supportive are the parents through the process? So if that's 3 months or even just a one-off, how supportive are the parents in the process?
so that is something that I addressed in the very beginning because I have had students who have come to me directly and say, "Hey, I want to do this, or I want to see what it's like to go through the coaching."
Okay.
Um, and typically I ask them from that point, is a parent involved? If the parent comes to me and says, "Hey, I want coaching for my student," then I make sure the student wants to be involved. And then from there, it really just depends. I have parents that say, "I want to be hands off." And then I have some that say, "I want to be involved." And they're only involved in those sessions where a parent would need to be present when we're talking about communication, when
Okay.
we're talking about what are my next steps. If we're talking about going to college, let's try to figure out uh, financing. How is that going to work?
Nice.
Uh,
So these are mostly high schoolers
yes,
that your
yes,
target audience is mostly high schools. Okay.
yes. And I'll be working with a group of eighth graders in Allen pretty soon doing a leadership. It's a group of leaders, and they work in the classroom throughout the middle schools. And so the teacher wants to do a leadership development course for them.
I like that. Yeah, they need to
Looking
learn
forward.
early like that. Don't graduate from high school, be like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do now? You got I'm glad that you're starting there, not waiting to high school is cool, but eighth grade. I like that.
And it's important because a lot of kids don't realize they have that leadership potential inside of them. And so they're
Yeah.
just kind of just going through the everyday business. And with social media, our kids see a lot and they deal with a lot, they face a lot. And so this just equips them to be able to know who they are, not waiting until they're 25 to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
And we also give a little grace because, hey, who you are at 13 will be different at 16, but let's try to map that out. And what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
What you like to do at 13, the organizations you like to participate in, that may even change. Give yourself grace for that, but the more you participate, the more you learn, the more options you give yourself, you can figure out who you are and have more confidence in your own identity.
I think that's amazing. We're gonna talk offline. I think I may be setting some up with you
I'm going to tell
to
you,
get you
Robbin,
more people.
the most beautiful thing is I still have a relationship with my first group of youth. And I had to ask one of them the other day, I was like, how old are you? And she was like, I'm 43. And I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And I remember they low income area in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I told them, I was like, we are gonna spread our wings.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to a farm, we're gonna milk cows. They thought I was playing, but they were there
Out there,
milking.
and they was out
Yes,
there.
ma'am. Yes,
Hmm.
ma'am.
Love
And
it.
I still have a good relationship with a few of them. And they tell me, like, thank you for opening our eyes, because you don't know what's out there unless you've been exposed to it. And so part of what I do is also connecting. Who do I know
Hmm.
that you need to get in front of? So if you have a student who's a senior and they're saying, hey, I want to be a doctor, I'm tapping into my doctor friends to have conversations with these students so that you can hear what that job entails, and you can kind of decide, oh, that's not what I thought it was.
Hmm.
And that way they're not ill prepared going off to school or going out into the real world.
I love that. The college readiness is everything. Just college readiness, life,
Just
just
life.
period. Just life.
Life, like, baby, you know how to boil a potato.
Yes. You can scramble some eggs.
Can
Amen.
you scramble
All
some?
right.
Yes.
So tell everyone how you can be followed, how you can be reached. If they have a teen right now that needs your services, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes. So my number is 469-209-1823. You can reach me email wise at Erin_Esteves@magnoliaheightscc.com.
Yeah.
And I also have Instagram at Magnolia Heights Coaching. So yes, that's how they can reach me.
I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, friends, so much for being on here today,
Yes.
letting everybody know your why and all things Magnolia Heights. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait
Thank
to
you.
hug you this weekend.
Yes.
And you're just amazing and such a blessing to so many people. So
Yes, and I thank you for that push to be out there and be official, because otherwise I'd still be meeting with my students just behind the scenes. So thank you
it's
for
all
that
right.
push.
And if I ever come to you, and this is anybody, we got somebody that's watching right now. She said I'm good at that for pushing her. Her last name is Duru. Anyway, um,
Yes.
but if I say, man, get out there and do it, this show wouldn't be here. Somebody saw it in me.
Yeah.
She's behind the scenes right now.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So God always puts other people in your path that can see bigger
Yes.
for you than
Yes.
you can even see in yourself. Now, not saying that you don't see it at all. It's just bigger.
Yes.
bigger scale. So that's why I'm always grateful to Kesha every show. Like, thank you, man. The opportunities that have come my way since. And I speak that over you now.
Yes.
Shut up,
Yes.
Aisha. Don't be talking about me.
She said
Anyway,
it.
I love you, Erin. I'll see you this weekend.
Thank you. Yes.
Much success, sister. Much
Yes. Thank
success.
you. Thank
Y'all
you.
give her some
Thank
claps in the
you.
chat. I love her so much, man. Aisha, I love you too. You call me the pusher. It's okay. Our next fabulous guest is the amazing Renee Hastings of Executive Help Now. Renee is the founder of Executive Help Now, a company where each of their clients are matched with dedicated virtual assistants that closely suits the needs of the client for their skill set or capacity or personality. And that dedicated VA is supported by others in the organization of Executive Help. Um, and they are cross-trained on all the things, which I love. Their mission of Executive Help Now is to deliver honest, dependable service through collaboration with excellence and passion. And Renee is, I like to call Renee a true Jackie of all trades, is a phrase we use here at the Mamapreneur Podcast. She is also a host of the Renee Speaks podcast. So I would like for you guys to give Renee Hastings some hand claps in the chat. There she is.
Hello.
I am so glad that you're here with us. I know I said it offline. It's so funny. We book the show so far in advance, but it felt like we just booked.
Right.
And
Time flies.
Well, this year I was just telling someone, I don't know where this year went. For Thanksgiving to be 2 weeks from today, we don't know where this year came and went, but I'm glad that you're here with us today. Tell everyone about you and what made you start Executive Help Now.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Gosh, so I started Executive Help Now back in 2014. And I love how you said earlier how it's other people who see things in you that push you into a place that you never had any idea that you would be. And that was exactly my situation. Mm-hmm. I had a friend that I had been meeting with for other reasons. And she said, you know, you're supposed to own your own business, right? And I'm happily sitting in corporate America with my great full-time day job with a great straight pay that I could count on every 2 weeks, paid vacations. I was content.
Okay.
And she said, you're supposed to own your own business. And I was like, no, I'm not. And so I fought it, kicking it and screaming. But then the more she just planted the seed. Mm-hmm. And that's all that needed to happen, was for the seed to be planted. Because, you know, there's a scripture that says that somebody planted, another person watered, but it was God who made it grow. Apollos. Anyways, the point is that once the seed was planted, it continued to nurture and nurture and nurture and just kind of grow over time. Mm-hmm. The time came when my children were graduated from high school. We were empty nesters, but I still had all this passion and drive and desire to support executives because that's all I'd ever done. From the time I was just little, before even having a work permit, my city where I lived had a summer youth employment program where they exposed the children to different opportunities and help them to gain work experience and help them to see the things that they like to do or, could want to pursue. And so I discovered from a very young age that I loved organizing and I loved being somebody's right hand. And I loved being the person that people could count on and streamlining processes. And that's what I continue to do throughout my career. So when I started supporting executives in the C-suite, chief executive officers, chief financial officers, chief marketing officers, all the chiefs in Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, my experience just expanded. And so it was just a natural transition for me if I was going to start a business to do what I knew how to do.
This was it. Yeah. It's natural.
Completely. It's like I could do this with my eyes closed and hands tied behind my back. I mean, that's just what I knew how to do. It's what I've always done and always loved doing and looked forward to doing every day. So when I started the business, I still had a full-time day job during the day. And I call this my side hustle. And I put that in air quotes for anybody who might listen to the replay. But then when my side hustle started taking just as much time as my day job, it became overwhelming really quick. And I had no time to myself. I was getting no sleep. Quality of work was suffering in both places, on the day job and in the business. And I prided myself on excellence and perfection. And so I was like, oh, Lord, you know that this is not okay. Something's got to give here. Let me know. And so I kept talking to my husband. I was like, babe, when can I leave the day job? So what has to happen for me just to do the business full time so that I can leave the day job? And I said, what if I make this much? Then can I leave? What if the business makes this much? Then can I leave? But we needed health insurance and benefits and, all the things.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So the day finally came in 2022 when I was able to cut the cord and leave corporate America and dive headfirst 100% into the business. And the team continued to grow. I kept adding virtual assistants to the team, our clients kept telling their friends about us. So the business kept growing. And it was just a natural evolution of how the business has just flourished through word of mouth referrals for the most part.
How many virtual assistants you have working for you now?
About 20 regularly.
Now,
that fluctuates a little bit.
Wow. Okay. So skill set wise, is everybody pretty different, or is it just kind of just depends on the client, what the client is asking for, or?
Right. So all the assistants are, we started out in administrative support, doing like email management, calendar management, expense reports, presentations, travel arrangements, all the things that the executive assistant in the office does. That's what we started out doing. We've since evolved and expanded our service offerings to now include social media management and engagements. And now we also produce podcasts. So
I love it.
And so each VA has their own specialty and skill set. So when I speak with various clients and they tell me exactly what it is that they need, I go through my roster and list of skills for who has what skill, and I make the match based on what the client needs, how much time they need, and the personality of the VA and their personality as well, to make sure that it will be a good fit.
Match, yeah. What do you look for in a VA? I always ask this question because let me tell you something before you answer. The evolution of virtual assistants. There was a time you might have heard maybe one person that did it, maybe two. And I think through COVID, that number just rise. And so everybody has their specific niche as far as VAs, because I know multiple. But what do you look for? Just in case of somebody watching right now, what do you look for in executive assistants?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that question very much, because I understand what you're saying. It's like at one point, you could hardly hear about what a virtual assistant was. Like our first client, he was like, what's that? What's a virtual assistant? But now, and through COVID, it's like everyone became a virtual assistant. So for us, if a virtual assistant is going to become a part of our team, they must share our values. We have to believe the same way and in terms of what's the most important thing. And to me, our clients are the most important. And so serving them and having a heart of service, a servant's heart is one of the things that we value the most, because when you have a servant's heart, you will treat your client's business, our client's business, like it's your own business.
And it comes out,
It absolutely comes out. It's all natural. It's 100%. It's not forced. It's just a part of who you are as a person. And that comes through in how we communicate in the pre-screening processes and the skills assessments that we provide before we even bring you onto the team. That person has to work with me for a period of time so that I can actually vouch for this person when I sign them to somebody, that they really are Executive Help Now standards and of excellence. And I can trust them with our name and our reputation.
Love it. What is an accomplishment this year that has made you the most proud?
Oh, my word. Oh, there's so many. I have grown so much as a leader, as the team members I discovered, they've said this to me, that I'm a mentor to them. They look up to me. I didn't go into the business thinking that that's how it would evolve or progress, but it has. And so just seeing them grow and develop into these amazing assistants. And to know that I had a small hand in the nurturing and guiding and training and leveling up of this person so that they are now operating at a higher level than they were when we first met. Our clients' lives are being impacted and changed for the better because they're able to delegate so many things to our team members and not have to work so many long hours and be able to spend more time with their families because we are trusted partners. And so that's just happened over and over again throughout this entire year. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful for our team and our amazing clients.
So besides the business piece, what is one thing you're grateful for in this season of life, besides the business and everything and the growth?
Besides the business piece, and I put it in the chat because I wanted to participate.
Okay, I missed it though. Go ahead and tell me.
All the comments that everybody else was sharing, that I'm just so grateful for the opportunities to be stretched, not only in the business, but even personally, to know what am I capable of. If I'm not presented with opportunities that are different or strange, that I've never experienced before, then I wouldn't know how much I could do. I wouldn't know how far I could go. I wouldn't know what the full capacity of the extent of my capacity is without the opportunities to reach. And so I'm most grateful for those opportunities to reach in the business as well as even personally.
Absolutely. Great. Okay. Not you found it, Kesha, talking about. Here you go.
Thank you, Kesha.
Oh, God.
Appreciate you.
Hilarious. Let everyone know how you can be followed. How can they want to know more about Executive Help Now? How can they follow you and reach you?
Okay, I'm on all the socials at Executive Help Now, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Also, if somebody wants to know, if they're not sure if they're ready for a virtual assistant, because some people might think, well, I don't know, I'm just maybe a small business. How do I know if I'm ready? They can text the letters VA Now to 1-866-943-3591, and they will get a flip book e-brochure of things to consider. And if they can answer these questions, then it will help guide them into whether or not they are ready for a virtual assistant. And our packages start, where pretty much anybody can have a virtual assistant.
Okay. Thank you so much, Renee, for being on today's show. I'm so glad that we got to connect again. And I just look forward to connecting again in the future and just continued success. Thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you. Thank you, Robbin. It's been great.
Absolutely. See you next time. I'll give her some claps in the chat. The talent, the talent on the show tonight is fire. That's all I gotta say. Okay. All righty. Next victim, just kidding. Her name is Megan Schaefer of Hive of the Happily Insured. I like to call this crazy lady the small business health insurance advisor, honey. She's licensed in 31 states and she's very committed to educating and providing the best options in her community on all things insurance. And so this is a great time for Megan to be on today because she is going to be talking about open enrollment. So, ladies and gentlemen, Meg Schaefer. You can unmute, girl.
Okay, spirit fingers again.
I'm so glad that you're here. You know, you're going to educate us today on open enrollment and all things Hive of the Happily Insured. Tell everybody about your amazing brand.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, Robbin. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time.
Yes.
So anybody who wants to get on your podcast, they better book you out far in advance.
We booking in March. Yeah. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan, for that shameless plug. Go ahead.
You're welcome. So health insurance, I'm all about health insurance. I can do some life insurance, but I am specializing in anyone from 18 to 65. So right before Medicare age, that's who I specialize in helping with health insurance. So open enrollment, we all hear about it. It is all over your news, radio. You'll see it. You're probably getting weird texts because I even have about open enrollment on your
Just
phone.
got one since we've been on live tonight.
Yeah, it's
like
just
I don't already have my insurance.
your phones listen to you now.
Messages. I'm like, no.
Yeah. So open enrollment is where the public can get on a health insurance plan for 2025. So it's open right now from November 15th or November 1st through January 15th. But the marketplace plans, those are going to be they're more expensive for somebody who can't get like a subsidy discount. They're good for people who maybe take expensive medications or will hit their deductible pretty early. So there's all kinds of different plans out there. There's literally 100 plans in a Texas zip code. And I'm just here to help you narrow down those options. Plus, on the marketplace, they only have HMOs. So you're a little bit more limited network. So what I do is I just kind of get a needs analysis from somebody if they're not happy with their health insurance now, if it's too expensive. There's all kinds of different reasons why people are shopping, because maybe your employer insurance is expensive because it's not just you, it's your family. And that's when employer insurance will go up, way up, because you're getting contribution from your company for having your employer benefits. They're at least paying half of your plan most of the time, but your family's paying full price for the same exact plan. So that's where I can help out. Another thing is if you're losing coverage, everybody, maybe is changing jobs, going entrepreneur. A lot of people are doing that. So they need health coverage there. I mean, Plano area, the whole Dallas Metroplex has got a high, there's like 3 in every square mile that is now an entrepreneur. So they need access to health coverage, and marketplace is one option. But then I specialize in private health insurance PPO options. So those are going to be more health-based and lower rates based upon basically a discount on your health, kind of like a good driving record is how I put it. If you're a good driver, you're not getting in wrecks, not getting in tickets, you usually get a better rate on your health, on your driving insurance, right? Your car insurance.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing for health insurance. Where I get a lot of these questions. How much is it to work with an advisor? It's free. So I am just here to really educate you on what coverage is, what the simple things that play into health insurance, and help narrow down your options based upon your needs, for individual, family, business owners, self-employed. Maybe you're wanting to even offer health coverage to your business. Um, and you don't qualify for group coverage because that's expensive.
Yeah.
And you have to have so many people jump on it to even, you know, be able to get it. You either have to have 50% of your employees to 75 take the insurance, and you have to contribute 50%. I write individual plans that again, it's a needs analysis based upon your employees. So if you want to contribute $100, $100, $50, $50. Or if you just want a good resource and want me to come out and educate your team and have somebody to just show that you care, I can do that, So I'm just, like you said, I'm all about the community and making sure that everybody is in the right spot, depending on, no matter what it is. And if I can't help you with something, I will make sure to get you in touch with somebody who can. So that's,
She's licensed in 31 states. She knows people. If she
Mhm.
can't help you, she know others that can. So
Exactly.
that's the plus of your. We like to call you the insurance plug. You're
Yeah,
well connected, if that makes sense.
it does. It does. It's nice to know people in different area codes.
Right. So, what is open enrollment? What is that time frame? Open enrollment.
It's November 1st, so it started. We're in it. It goes till January 15th for most states.
Okay.
So most states is January 15th, and then it cuts off after that, where after those things, you just have a life qualifying event, and I can help out there. But right now, and I would say, do not go online and put your information on to try to get a quote.
You never
And
know.
yeah, you might hear, oh, this person has really good insurance. Let me check out. Well, every employer plan's built different. I mean, everything can matter into pricing. It goes upon age, it goes upon location, it goes upon your gender, even.
Wow.
So these are things that you hear, then you put your info in, you're just going to get a million phone calls, and you're going to get frustrated and pick a plan just because you're frustrated with the calls. So
Yeah.
if you actually do work with somebody like me, a health advisor who can educate you, guide you, help you narrow down your options, then you just avoid all that stuff. So
I love it. So, my question I've asked everyone: what are you grateful for in this season?
I am actually grateful for the people that I've got to help in different states. It's so cool not to limit to just Texas, even though I love my state and I love
It's all
Plano and I
right.
love the Metroplex. But I think that's something that's so cool that a lot of people don't get to do in their business, is actually reach different states and stuff. So
Okay.
I think that's just super cool. I never expected, I'm getting into it. I never expected that I would be able to even do that. I thought I was just going to be licensed in Texas. So.
That's all right. And you're doing big things. Let everyone know how you can be followed so they can connect with you.
So honestly, my cell phone is going to be the best. Don't be scared to reach out. I'm eventually going to have to talk to you about health insurance stuff if you are serious about it. So my cell is going to be 903-216-7056. You can text and we can set something up. I can send you a questionnaire that I would need to narrow down some stuff to help you, at Meg at Hive of Happily Insured. That's my email. That's my business Facebook. Thank you so much, Kesha. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, she's gonna make sure it shows up on the
Yeah.
screen.
And then my Facebook business page is the same. But I I'll answer anything, but honestly, I'm on my phone 24/7 talking to clients or answering any
Someone.
or something. So it's pretty easy to reach me there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Meg, for coming on. I hope to see you soon. And I just appreciate you just for always just being just amazing, being the person that you are. So
Well, thank you so much.
much. Awesome. Take care. Y'all give Meg some hand claps in the chat. She's amazing. And last but not least, to close us out, just in time for the holidays, this amazing lady I met at a networking event with a mutual friend. Her name is Tracy Poe, and that is Jennifer Frazier Cockrum. And she is Puddleby Farm, and I like to call her the Wreath Lady. So we're going to bring her on so I can just talk all about her too, so she can see me. So Jennifer Frazier Cochran, y'all, give her some hand claps in the chat. Yes.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here. It's so funny. So we attended a conference together, virtual conference. And I think the last thing Jennifer expected was for me to offer her a spot to come on to this podcast. And she probably was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But I'm glad that you're here. And really, I call her the Wreath Lady because that's what she does. And so tell everybody about Puddleby Farm Designs and how can they get in touch with you and learn more and order some wreaths.
Well, I have an Etsy shop. I call it my accidental Etsy shop. And it is Puddleby Farm Designs. That's the best place that's the only place I sell. But I'm on all the social media. But it's not just about the wreaths because I'm a physical therapist by profession.
Right.
And I suffered a very serious hand injury doing an ordinary thing at home one day. And I fell with a cup in my hand and I took out all the tendons and the median nerve of my left hand. Jesus. So it was a pretty serious injury. And so I went through lots of therapy for that. And after 10 months of being in occupational therapy, I had plateaued. I wasn't getting any better. So I just said, I'm a PT. I can do this on my own. So I started doing it on my own. And what I couldn't do was manipulate paper and all that. So that's where the craft therapy at Puddleby Farm came from, is that I was doing the crafts and trying to do something with that just to help people, not necessarily to make a second job or anything, but just to help people with the knowledge that I have, because there's a lot of people who have hand problems. Mm-hmm. So, everybody here has talked about the God thing and how God is in the details. And fast forward 4 years, and I just decided, I was feeling a little bit better. I'll make a wreath for my sister-in-law. And I put it on Facebook, and 10 people wanted to buy it. So I had been thinking about doing something. I wasn't really thinking about an Etsy shop. I was thinking about doing something else, maybe selling products or something on Facebook or whatever. I don't know. And the other caveat to that was I was having major hand surgery in May. So in March, I posted the wreath. And in May, I was having a nerve transplant, which is a cutting edge surgery that was performed in Dallas by a wonderful surgeon there. And if anybody has any questions about, I'm going to use big words, peripheral nerve injuries or like hand injuries or nerve injuries, they can reach me through you or through my social medias. It's Puddleby Farm or Craft Therapy at Puddleby Farms. Anyway, so I went ahead and opened my Etsy shop, and it has been very successful, more successful than I expected it to be. And I just opened it in March, and I found out I was in the top 1/3 wreath sellers on Etsy.
Oh my gosh.
So it's been crazy. It's just been crazy. And I still have my full-time day job.
Right.
as a physical therapist. I'm just not in clinic. I have a desk job. My clinic days are over.
You're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Although you
You're
said
okay with that.
I just started doing YouTubes, and I'm like, okay, this is what I do because it's hard for my hand to do this, and I will show like little hacks or whatever for people, and I think that's been helpful. I did a whole segment on shoes because I couldn't tie my shoes, and so I showed people all these different kinds of shoes that you don't have to tie.
Right.
Like the Skechers, or there's Kizik's, or shoes that you don't have to tie. Anyway, I'm using my PT skills, but I'm still making wreaths, and people seem to like them. And like the lady with the insurance was saying, I've sold wreaths from every corner of the world, and I've sold Texas wreaths to every corner of the United States.
Isn't
I
that
have
funny?
a Texas wreath in Alaska, in Florida, and
I was going to ask you
California.
that. Do you ship everywhere? That was going to be my next question. Okay.
Yeah, I ship in the United States. I'm toying with shipping internationally because they say it's not that hard. You just have to add more postage to
Okay.
it, so the price of the wreath is going to be higher. So
Yeah. And I just need everybody to go over to her social media alone. The wreaths are fire. You could tell that they are made with love. That's just my opinion. I'm going to ask you before we close out, what are you grateful for in this season of your life, Jennifer?
I am telling you, I don't even know where to start, honestly, because about this time last year, I was pretty hopeless with my hand. My hand, it did not heal well with the first repair. It was hurting. I was in pain. I was taking heavy pain medication, so I was, kind of foggy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And finding that surgeon to fix my hand, it has been a life-changing event. So I'm grateful for God's hand in all of that, because I was ready to go anywhere in the United States to find somebody, and I found them in my back door,
Yeah.
So
amazing.
Anyway, yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Miss Jennifer, for coming on. Go over to puddlebefarmdesigns.etsy.com. Get your wreath. It is the perfect time to get you a good old wreath right now with the holidays coming up. Even though you can get you a Texas wreath in Alaska per Jennifer. Thank you so much, Miss Jennifer, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You more. Yes. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 78 of the Mamapreneur Podcast. Tonight was amazing. Make sure you share this live broadcast or the replay so everybody can see these amazing guests tonight. And I will see you guys after Thanksgiving. Have a good night.